The Buskers guide is here at GH Music in Melbourne. Gear guru Sweet Lick Smell is inside. He's going to help us have a look through all the gear, from guitars to amps, leads, picks, desks, everything we need to create the best busker setup for us to take around Australia and around the world. So that's what we're doing today. We're just about to head in and check it out.
You've been drinking too much beer. You can't see your feet below your knees.
I tried out a few Cajons when I sat out the back in the heat and bashed away. And there's some really good Cajons, and they're all so different. I don't think you notice how different a Cajon is until you sit two next to each other. Just the same when you're trying out guitars.
G'day everyone, Simmo from GH Music here, or Sweet Lick Smell, or the Gear Guru. Today we're set up here at GH Music. We've got the guys with their gear that we've hand selected over the last couple of weeks based on performance and affordability and practicality. So at the very heart of the Buskers Guide operation would be George's stunning Cold Clark Angel 2 with the bunya top and the blackwood back and sides. I mean, you know, if you haven't played one of these guitars acoustically, get down to GH and come and see us. We'll be more than happy to let you have a listen to those. The real magic from this guitar happens in the pickup system, which is the three-way Cold Clark system, giving you the phase sensor, which is possibly the most unique part about the Cold Clark sound. Very natural acoustic tone. Piezo, that's been hanging around in acoustic guitars for, you know, a very, very long time, so we all know what that does. But now with the three-way system, Cold Clark have got the mic in there to really capture some of that higher frequency. Cold Clark do a lot of great models, the Fat Lady and the Angel. Obviously the boys went for the Angel size guitar, being the smaller, you know, auditorium shaped guitar. It's you know, portability factor really for buskers out there, smaller stuff with big beefy sound. That's everything that an Angel 2 is. On the other side of the fence here, we've got Josh's LP Aspire Accent Cajon. You know, we sort of just grabbed a handful of models that were in an affordable kind of price range. We gave them to Josh to road test them, and eventually, via process of elimination, this was the one that came up with the goods. Just get a quick squeeze in the back there. You've got a hole built in the back to you know, put a microphone in. I suppose the really handy part about that for buskers is that when you're not using it as a Cajon and miking it up, you can put all your egg shakers, whatever sort of percussion you can fit in there, and ultimately condense your load when you're traveling around. These particular busker guys have gone with the RC300, which has literally got to be the mother of all loop stations, particularly from Roland. Look, there's so much stuff in this thing, it's just incredible. But literally, you've got three simultaneous loops, which can sort of work independently depending on how crafty you get. Effects loops, your track levels. There is rhythms and tap tempos, expression pedals. It's just, it's a big unit, and yeah, look, I mean, check out the Roland demonstration videos on this guy to really understand the whole unit. Probably next down the line for the Buskers gear would be our little Zenex 1002B Behringer mixer. You know, look, there's a stack of mixers out there, depending on how many inputs you want. Particularly this one though, does have a battery operation, so obviously, you know, if you don't have power, then you can still run all of your stuff in here. Battery powered, you know, five mic ins, effects loop, I should say, not effects built in. Yeah, that's a pretty simple unit, but a good one at that too. The engine room of the Buskers Guide. I mean, you know, all of this beautiful gear that we've got hanging around. Not much point in having that if you're out there busking and no one can hear. So it seemed a bit of a no-brainer to go for the Roland BA330. 300 watts of power, battery powered as well. I mean, you know, that alone appeals to buskers of all players. Some really cool things to note about this guy though is the amount of ins and outs on the back. Connectivity is going to be you know, quite flexible. You've also got some built-in effects. some full and half and low power modes. And last but not least, you know, if you're setting up there, and you should be fortunate to be in front of a front of house system, you can plug all your stuff into this like you would normally on the street, give your front of house guy a stereo out, and then you've got even more power. Arturia Minilab 25 MIDI keyboard, great little keyboard, quite affordable as well. You know, all the usual sort of things that you'd probably expect in a MIDI keyboard, like pitch bending, modulation bends, your MIDI preset pads, obviously a 25 keyer, you know, and all of this. I mean, Josh runs Ableton and a handful of sound libraries through a Mac, and basically, you know, has a lot of flexibility with bass lines and things like that. And this guy was definitely a ripper for that sort of application. The beautiful voices of the lads come through a couple of JTS NX8 mics. For the money, you know, these are great mics, pretty sturdy as well. And granted, you're going to be traveling around the world, you want a mic that's pretty reliable. You know, get into GH Music and actually have a listen to some of these compared to some of the more expensive ones. And you know, for the money, they're very good. Last but not least would be the JTS NX7 instrument mic. All jokes aside, Josh has been known to put this in the back of his Cajon, but currently he's running it up the front here for all things percussion, you know, shakers, tambourines, whatnots. Exactly the same sort of spiel as the NX8s, you know. Yeah, you've got to hear these against some more expensive models. For the money, killer mics. Yeah, get out and have a listen to those as well. Excellent, so now that we've briefly touched on some of the gear here, essentially we're going to set it up and show you what it's all about. Buggerlugs Josh, the Drifter Monk, or whatever it is that you go by.
Half-beard full.
Yeah, give us a couple of minutes, we'll get set up and we'll make some noise and
have a jam together.
Have a jam, yeah.
All the other kids with the pumped up kicks better run faster than my bullet. All the other kids with the pumped up kicks better run, outrun my gun. All the other kids with the pumped up kicks better run faster than my bullet.
Thanks GH Music,
Yeah,
thanks
GH,
Les,
thanks
and
Les.
all the crew.
And Sweet Lick Smell, Gear Guru.
Legend.
Let's do it.